All right.
Okay.
I'm going to pull the card here. So we're going to introduce ourselves. Names, pronouns, how old are you, and how do you identify in the LGBTQ community?
I'm Alan Broach. I go by he and him.
I'm Sage the Winter. I identify as non-binary.
My name is Lenny. My pronouns are they, them. I am 23 years old, going to be 24 in May.
I'm Cammie.
My name is Crystal.
It's nice to meet you, Crystal.
It's very nice to meet you too.
My name's Allie. I go by any pronouns.
Yeah, so I'm Teddy. Pronouns are she, they.
I'm Dawn Cheney, and I identify as a female, and I'm 82 years of age.
What are your pronouns?
She, her.
My pronouns are also she, her.
I'm 76 years old, and I identify as gay.
My sexuality is queer, and my gender is a non-binary and gender fluid.
I'm 58.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I am 18.
Okay.
I'm 13 years old and I use they, them pronouns.
I will be 61 years old in May.
Okay.
I'm 13 and I identify as pan and asexual.
Cool.
I'm a queer, gender non-conforming, gender fluid, and that is itself all very fluid.
I love that. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Have you ever had to hide your identity?
Of course I have. In the early days, I did.
Interesting.
I don't really think so.
Yes, yes.
When?
Oh, yeah, a lot. And you know, it's like I feel like I sometimes hid it from myself.
Until I decided I could not continue doing that. I couldn't live that way.
It was just one of those things where it was just a portion of who I was.
That's what
Just
I
a
always
part.
say.
Yeah, it's just a part.
Yeah, I'm a lot of things and this is one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've grown up with so many supporting people that I've always just gotten to be myself.
No, I never had to hide my identity, but I have hidden partners.
I had to hide I had to hide that probably for a lot of my life. Boy, it's gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
I don't think we should hide any of our identity, because we are who we are.
All right. This question says, what do you wish the other generation understood about your generation?
I'm your grandparents' age. So what do you think they should know about you?
I think it's like how my mom puts it, like just explaining like the whole pronouns thing.
I see a lot of us young folk coming out and doing some really gender expansive things, right?
And that's good, because we're not all the same, nor will we ever all be the same.
Just because I'm older, don't count me out.
The year they did Stonewall, I was actually in Vietnam that year, so I didn't get to participate.
And don't think I don't get it.
Understand the concepts and really like latch on to the idea that, you know, I use they, them pronouns and that's, you know, it's who I am.
I don't think they know that I'm very tough.
Just more patience with that. Or an understanding that the intention might be there, but sometimes folks my age or older might take a little longer to get in the game with the language thing.
When I get knocked down, I get back up, dust myself off, and go out what tried to knock me down.
And sometimes it can be confusing, sometimes it does not make any sense. And I think,
You know, sometimes we don't have all the answers as well. So
There's no sense in trying to learn everything on your own. You know, we're here to ask, we're here to help. Most of us are generous with our time.
But what we have to do is respect other people for who they are.
I completely agree. I love that. It's great.
oh, I love this.
Okay.
What brings you joy about being LGBTQ?
I guess the diversity of it.
Everything. I mean,
It's just being a part of this community and getting to, meet people who I can relate to and have similar experiences to me.
What brings me joy?
It brings me joy that it's a bunch of people coming together trying to just be themselves.
Just finding other people in the community. It's always nice, just to know that they kind of share that bond with you.
Being around other queer folk and just sharing, this identity.
getting to celebrate who I am, like in this
Yeah.
context tonight,
Yeah.
really, we're getting to celebrate who we are.
We're doing something about ourselves. And, there's virtually no organization exactly like this anywhere.
It's awesome. I wish everybody was LGBTQ.
I think this one is going to be, I'm so excited to hear your part of this one. What was coming out like for you?
Oh, wow. That's a long story.
Oh yeah.
That's sort of a little difficult question.
It was long. It was a process.
Coming out for me was, I think, the opposite of intense.
I played sports,
It was definitely not like a single event where I said it to the world and it was done with.
and many of the team members on my team were not openly out like we are today, but we all knew it.
I wrote a bunch of love letters to my first girlfriend in 10th grade. I know, saucy.
When I was a little girl, I knew I was different. I always felt different in so many ways.
And then I went on to college and the same thing happened there. And then when I came out as a professional,
It was kind of just this random realization.
My grandmother was like, Sage doesn't have to be that way. And my mom was like, what? And my dad was laughing and he was like, do you mean being a theater kid?
Hey, no boys. And then he asked me, he said, are you a lesbian? I didn't know my dad knew that word.
I've always been out. It was never anything I hid. What does the word queer mean to you?
Oh, wow. What does the word queer mean to me?
For me, I think the word queer is kind of like an umbrella term. It can mean different things to different people.
In my generation, it was harsh and very negative.
I get to live with my partner. I get to love my partner out loud.
People loving who they want to love. Definitely.
We talked to people who were queer who were just maybe a little different. Maybe they had their hair cut differently.
Back, when I was a kid, queer was a word, a very commonly used word, very derogatory.
It was never seen as a positive statement.
But then by the time I kind of got to college-ish age, there was this kind of reclaiming of the word queer.
In a way, I do still see it as me reclaiming that term from how it was used against, my elders and people before me who really paved this way.
I understand it today and I use the term from time to time myself, but even when I use it today, I'll go like, it's like, do I really want to use that word?
Because I don't really know my sexuality yet or attraction as much as my gender and stuff, so I just kind of identify as queer.
For me personally, it captures my identity. I'm queer, I'm different, I'm everything. I
love that.
It just, it feels like a big warm hug. And
How has the Guilford Green Foundation and LGBTQ Center impacted you?
I don't think that I'm going to be able to sum this up a lot, to be honest.
It's where my people are.
Yeah.
Right?
I was on the committee for the first Green parties, which were kind of the forerunner and the starter of this.
I've been with them for 3 or 4 years-ish.
so I came over here for the first time 2 Christmases ago.
I started coming, it was a little over a year ago now.
And it's impacted me a lot because it's given me that space to, be comfortable with myself.
And we need the center so that we not only can represent the community.
It's a safe space. It's a space that LGBT can see themselves inside
Yeah.
of, like they can see themselves here.
Being able to talk to people who can identify as what I identify as is very comforting.
It just made a lot of difference for there to be a space here and for people to be so welcoming and friendly. And
it's so many levels, because like I've met people here who, you know, have the same music tastes or enjoy the same activities, and it's really great to be able to connect to people through this place.
Really gives me the courage to keep going.
You saying that makes me so grateful for the center.
Yeah.
Because the center, I think, helped youth.
I can participate and give in other ways.
It has so many resources to just reach out to. They've got a lot of outreach.
I love this organization and I support it wholeheartedly.
It's where I go to, you know, the joy we talked about, the connections we talked about.
There's just a lot of camaraderie here, you know, and there's like a lot of love and a lot of community.
If they can't help you out with something, they definitely know somebody who does.
I still need other people to encourage me to keep going.
What Guilford Green means to me is it's my community.
It allows people, you know, like us, to connect with other people who they can relate to.
You know, when I financially support the center, it's like,
I think the LGBTQ Center is a center for everybody.
I know that it's going to such a great cause.
And it also provides like a place where people can come and feel, you know, respected and affirmed, and I think that's really important.
I mean, that's a big thing. Like, that's
Yeah.
a gift to me.
You just have an environment to be who they are, to meet other people like them.
Being able to get at different populations of the LGBTQ community is really important.
It's a great place to share and be, like you said, be who you are.
We can talk to each other because we know what each other has been through.
I think we have to welcome the total community so we can teach.
They can come to the center, they can come to programming and hopefully get that sense of community and belongingness.
You know, especially people who, you know, don't have as great support outside of places like this.
It's really inspiring to see someone with my identity be happy.
It just gives people hope that, you know, that things are going well.
It's only when we unite.
I could say more. I'm not going to, but I could say so much more because like GGF has meant a lot.
That all of us become successful.